What are you doing here?
Next Wednesday,
You're such a good landlord.
it's a night of confrontations.
Did you set Maurice up? No, why would I do that? So you're really over me.
Can they face the truth?
You don't love him like you love Zach. Are you still in love with Karen?
No matter the consequences.
They have Maurice on tape confessing to the crime. This is crazy.
Tyler Perry's Sistas. All new episode next Wednesday at 9.
All right, Sistas fans, we have the promo for next week's episode, Season 5, Episode 3, entitled No Stress. Andy and Danny get to the bottom of things with respect to Sabrina's whereabouts. Fatima suspects that Zach has residual feelings for Karen and confronts him. So yeah, folks, just to kind of give you a little heads up, yesterday a bunch of people sent me the episode synopsis for episode 6, and let me just put it this way. It's getting exhausting. I want to try to not make this video as ranty as my episode review for this week's Sisters, but does Zach always have to be confronted every freaking week? Like, it's just ridiculous at this point. But it looks like, also, I'm going to be covering the trailer you just saw as well as the end credit teaser at the end of this week's episode. So Calvin's at the gay bar and he's talking with Chris, the bartender, and he's like, "Hey, have you seen Maurice?" And Chris is like, "Oh shit, you don't know." So then later on, we see Calvin and Chris over at Maurice and Calvin's apartment, and it looks like they arrive and Calvin calls Q from the back and says, "Did you set Maurice up?" And Q's like, "No, why would I do that?" So from there, it looks like, this is when, Calvin punches him in the face and, they get into a scuffle. Chris is kind of like the middleman there, kind of, trying to break it apart. And then Q's like, "I ain't going nowhere because I got me a warm bed and a warm bitch." And then he's like, "Ain't no way I'm leaving." So, I mean, I don't know. I hope Calvin is able to... Look, I want to say... I'm not even going to say I want to say I'm invested in this storyline, because the fact that the pure stupidity of Sabrina and especially Calvin and Maurice in last season led to all this happening. So, as somebody joked on Twitter, I think, somebody said, "Here we go with Calvin getting into his annual fight." So, I think he might actually win this time. And I think it's really rooted in the fact that he actually has anger that we can understand, as opposed to in the bank being pissed off, but then just messing with the wrong guy. And then with Bio, he started that fight. And I mean, yeah, it wasn't a clear winner, but I think if the fight continued, Bio would have won. But in this case, Calvin, he's really going to, fight this time and hopefully kick Q out once and for all. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, what does Q think he's doing? I mean, he doesn't pay rent. Yeah, he screwed over Maurice and Sabrina, but you just can't stay up in there. So, hopefully, he kicks his ass to the curb. Okay. Also, who's this warm bitch he's talking about? I mean, is he talking about, Calvin, or what's going on? Or does that mean Q has somebody? I'm guessing Q is in Maurice's room and he got somebody up in there. That's what I'm assuming. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Then we have Preston. It looks like he's driving somewhere. He's like, "So you're really over me?" And then Danny's on the other end of the phone, just kind of, I don't know, rolling her eyes or something. And after this last episode, like I said, Preston was one of my favorite characters. Trinity does a great job with him. It's just the writing is so dumb at this point. And why is he even still calling Danny? At that point, just let it go. He's basically becoming Aaron. The fact that he used to have, an interesting character, and now he's just reduced to the role of begging and pleading. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, what, did Preston leave? Is he still in town? Or did he catch another flight? Is he in Texas right now? And is he driving to go pick up Mindy? Hey, so you're really over me, huh? Well, I'm about to pick her up right now. I don't know. But then to pick up where the episode left off this week, after Gary got up and ran to the bathroom. Here's my thing. I mean, if somebody walked in on two grown adults having sex. Why would one, I mean, the way, this is kind of a common occurrence, you know, like when the girls walked in on Aaron and Karen, and now Danny walking in on Andy and Gary. They act like they're horny teenagers that got caught by one of their parents, so then they scramble. You know, it's just one of the things where if Andy was a real one, it's like, yo, hey, Danny, you need to bounce. Like, you know, I'm in the middle of something right now. So, yeah, we see Gary scrambling into the bathroom, and then Andy is saying, what are you doing here? So, from there was a non-verbal scene where I think that Andy and Danny must have talked outside of the bathroom, and Danny must have left, so then Andy goes in there to talk with Gary. So I don't want to say he proposes, but it looks like, you know, he's bending down on one knee, and I just don't even want to talk about that. But I guess the next morning or something, Andy and Danny are talking about the Sabrina situation. You know, Danny going, Sabrina is not made for jail. Andy saying, well, she didn't commit the crime. Danny's like, look, they got her locked up anyway. So then from there, Andy's like, well, I have one more person I can possibly call, and I'm wondering if that's Robin. So then we have Andy also saying they have Maurice on tape confessing to the crime. Danny going, this is crazy. So as you can see, they're weighing all their options in order to figure out how to get Sabrina out of jail. And just a theory here, I don't know for sure, but given that Novi Brown has a lot of upcoming, if not currently streaming movies on Tubi and BET+, I wonder if her role of Sabrina was kind of reduced in season 4 of her being locked in jail due to the fact that she had to film other things. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but, you know, it wouldn't surprise me because up until this point in the show, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but every sister has been in every single episode. It's kind of like with Bruh, with Mike being, you know, MIA for a lot of season 3 so far. Then we found out, you know, oh yeah, he was filming that first kill for Netflix, and also he's in Queen Sugar now. So yeah, it looks like it just goes to show how flexible of a guy Tyler Perry is, where if you have other projects, he will, you know, write around that, so you're able to do both, and I like that. You know, kind of like, you know, John Snyder and the Haves and the Have-Nots when he was doing Dancing with the Stars, so a bunch of his dialogue and scenes took place when he was locked up in jail. So again, Tyler's a stand-up guy for that. Okay, so we have Miss Lisa, and again, this looks like it's early in the morning. You got Karen, who does look better. So, you know, it is, you know, cool to see her moments where she's calm, which is rare, but it looks like Miss Lisa is, you know, fixing him some coffee or something, and she goes, you don't love him like you love Zach, probably talking about Aaron. And then when the subjects turn around, about Zach, are you sure the baby's his? And Karen's like, sometimes I just don't even know anymore. And I'm glad she's being honest, but like I said, it's like every time I give Karen some credit for being level-headed, she goes right back to being a spiteful you-know-what. So I do like that we're seeing Miss Lisa listening to Karen, but here's the thing now. This goes back to what I said about how I'm not mad at Miss Lisa and how she's been acting as of this week's episode. And I'm glad she's having a sit down with Karen. I'm just hoping she's willing to do the same with Aaron and with Zach. Now, I believe that's supposed to happen in episode 4. And I'm guessing this is the catalyst for it. Like, you know, Miss Lisa and Karen having that conversation about, okay, so who do you love and all this other stuff. And then in episode 4, that's when we're going to see the sit down between the fellas and the ladies here, because the synopsis for episode 4 says Zach agrees to go to Karen's to put it all out on the table so he and Fatima can move forward in peace. But then when we get to episode 5, and I know I'm jumping ahead here in the synopsis game, but I kind of have to for the sake of this conversation. Karen confronts Zach and Aaron with her true feelings once and for all with Lisa's help. But then we get to episode 6, which again, the synopsis just dropped yesterday, talking about how Karen decides to focus all of her fury on Zach. So here's what I'm guessing. Basically, Karen puts it all out there. So again, Zach is just trying to have some damn peace. That's it. That's it. So I'm guessing Aaron, Zach, Karen, and Miss Lisa all sit down, put it all out there. And because Zach still refuses to come back, that's why she focuses all her fury on him. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Even though I'm going to be ranting about it when the episode's air, let's be real. Alright, so then the final scenes to talk about here occur at the gym, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen the gym setting in this show since season 1. Season 1. We got Zach and Fatima there working out, and then Deja strolls up and, starts rubbing on his shoulders while he's working out. She's like, ooh, you're such a good landlord. And then, we see Fatima getting pissed off. So then Aaron pops up out of nowhere going, hey, Zach, I just wanted to talk to you about Karen. And then we got Zach kind of signaling like, nah, man, I ain't trying to do that. And then out of nowhere, Fatima's like, Zach, it must be important. Aaron's like, it is. And then again, Fatima, are you still in love with Karen? It's beyond old. It's beyond old at this point. It really is. So we got Fatima yet again. Look, but they're engaged, right? Zatima, separate continuity, all this other nonsense. So yeah, I mean, the fact that Zatima season 1 wrapped up, it's like now we're like, backpedaling with Fatima yet again, still questioning Zach's true feelings for Karen, and I don't know. So that's the promo for next week, and we'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And guys, this season doesn't look like it's going to turn out to be so good, to be completely honest with you.